Welcome to day 329 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my brother Brian, and we have a very special guest today. You know him as Kanshi on DeSo. He's one of the original OGs. He's working on Astronation, which is a really cool metaverse project. He's also building ArtStation inside of Astronation, and he's the creator of DeSo Ninja, which is another project. So he's been with DeSo since the start, and he's been creating and creating and creating on top of DeSo from the very beginning as well. How's it going, Kanchi?
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys, for having me, and thank you for this awesome intro. I must say myself that I'm also a big fan of you guys, and yeah, following the videos religiously even.
Thanks. That makes us feel really special. Kanchi's watching us. But
I
yeah,
always say that Kanchi, I always say Kanchi is the smartest person on DeSo. So,
I think you said Salil Sethi's the smartest person.
but then I said, I think Kanchi might have you beat Salil. I'd say you're about even. I don't want to offend Salil.
I think there's plenty of great minds on this. I'm always thrilled to have those interesting conversations, be on Nacho on Cyberplats, or I can chime in on Clubhouse. Yeah, we're everywhere, right? In the the community.
Brian just sucks up to all of our guests. But at 6 p.m. Eastern time today, you're having a clubhouse room to auction off some, I guess they're called, I don't even,
Claims of sky.
stations in
Claims of sky. Yeah,
claims of
those
sky.
are
There you
very
go.
those are very special NFTs. They're called Pathfinder NFTs because they represent like people who one of the first ones in the world are finding the way to their own star station in the metaverse of Astronation, right? So these NFTs they represent a claim of sky over the moon of Air, which essentially is a geostationary orbit location that you can, that you're gonna have a claim over, which is going to be written in the registry later on the blockchain. But these are special in a way that they come with a star station that is going to be built by the core team of Astronation, which is me, Sava, and other people soon, hopefully. And we will create a station that matches the needs of your community while discovering what is the utility that the metaverse can provide to the creators and to the community leaders, organizers. And we already have a great four initial stations or claims of sky with their own communities, slowly, maybe not so slow, but growing. And now during this event we're going to close four more Pathfinder NFTs that represent this claim of sky, the star station, and also a Discord channel on Astronation's Discord server. We're going to be closing them as you said, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's midnight for me in Europe, but hopefully we're going to have a great turnout. Already there are some bids, so get in while they last. On total, we will have 12 of Pathfinder NFTs, and now we're selling the second four, so it's like 5 to 8 numbers of the available in offer.
Yeah. So like for those who this sounds Greek to, Kanchi is basically building the metaverse this spatial form, and he's connecting DeSo to it. But we'll get more into that here in a few minutes. But I just want to clarify that if it all sounded like what the hell is he talking about?
No,
That's
yeah.
true. We're in the future. Sorry.
Yeah, and it's at 6 p.m. Eastern time on Clubhouse. Those auctions are going to close in the Clubhouse room or
Yes,
before.
we'll be on during that conversation on that clubhouse room. I will also be streaming video on our Astronation Discord, because we cannot do video on Clubhouse. So, but I don't. The audio and the main conversation is going to be happening on Clubhouse, where Discord is just supporting with the video feed. So. Again, remember 6 p.m. today, Eastern, on Clubhouse in Deso chats. We're gonna be finishing the auction.
Sounds exciting. And remember, you can bid on one and you get that space in space. But one word, a little bit of advice: if you see the account Krasenstein bidding on any, don't outbid that account, but you can bid on any of the other ones.
That's
But
true. That's true.
let's get on to some news, and we'll get into more of what you're doing, Kanchi. Yesterday, Matreshka had an update on Desonniversary.
Yeah, so like we've all been waiting for the 1 year anniversary. It's supposed to take place in LA. We've been waiting to hear more about when it's going to take place because obviously, if we don't live in LA, we've got to make arrangements to fly to LA and stay in LA. She gave an update yesterday. It's basically between two different weekends. So the last weekend in March or the first weekend in April. And she's basically holding a poll of everybody. And you can basically say, you can make it in the last weekend of March, you can make it in the first weekend of April. You can do either of them, or you can't make either, but you can do the live stream. So if you haven't done so already and you want to kind of take part in this poll, head to Matreshka's profile and just answer that poll. It's going to help her determine what the best date is. And Ed and I, we can make it either weekend.
Yeah, Kanshi, are you going to be able to make it over there?
I will be online. I already responded to the poll that I'm gonna be on the stream, entertained by the content from there. But I really like those streams, you know. Like
Maybe one day we can have the Desonniversary in Astronation. That would be cool.
totally, for sure. We also started talking about maybe doing some sort of an event in Europe, but yeah, it's very early.
Yeah, you're in Poland, so that would be perfect.
Yeah, so I really like the idea that the community is going to be organizing this event. The core team decided on that. I think that's really cool. And it seems like it's going to be either the last week of March or the beginning of first week of April. And we'll all get together either in person or over your computer screens. So it's going to be great. Also yesterday, It's Aditya announced that he got a developer grant from the Deso Foundation, which is really cool. He made a post saying some epic shit's on the way. So there you have it, straight from the word of mouth of It's Aditya. Of course, he's been working on the Discord servers. He's been doing the Quartify bot, which allows you to give diamonds and other features that it integrates features from Deso onto Discord. And there's a lot of servers already using it. It's going to be great to see what he can do now that he has funding.
Yeah, well deserved. I was surprised he hadn't had any funding prior to that, maybe because it was a smaller project that's at the start, but I'm sure he has a lot of plans moving forward.
Yeah, and Deso Messenger had an update as well. Of course, weeks ago, they said that they were going to be releasing the mobile version of Deso Messenger. I think it was on a Friday. And I guess that something didn't work out. Things got delayed a little bit. Maybe they found some bugs, but they just posted a preview of the mobile version of Deso Messenger, and it looks really cool. And they said that is coming soon. So I'm assuming it's going to be out any day now. I guess it has to be approved by the various app stores. But we should see. We shall see what that entails, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I just want to get rid of Telegram already and start using Deso Messenger. So the sooner the better.
Yeah, for sure. And Open Prosper had additional features released yet again, Brian.
Yeah, so like I say, like Salil is working nonstop. Every day it seems like he releases a new feature or a new way to kind of sort data on Open Prosper. Yesterday he released this new feature. It's called the DeSo username check, and it allows you to basically type in any username. So if you just type Krasenstein in, you'll see on which nodes that user is verified, blacklisted, or graylisted. And right now, the nodes that he has pulling information from are Diamond App, of course, BitClout.com, The Social World, NFTZ, Love for SRC, which is Kanchi's, Supernovas, Tyne's node, Tyne.club, and Tunel. So it's really great. You can go there. Like if you want to say, hey, is this person really who they say they are? You can see, oh, they were verified on Diamond App, BitClout, and Love for SRC. So it seems like they're probably really the real person. If you want to see, is this person blacklisted on any of the nodes or graylisted? It's really a valuable tool. And I think moving forward, this is going to be the future, like an aggregator of all the nodes, and you can see who's verified, who's blacklisted, and kind of get a better feel for things, because one node could get it wrong. But as a team, if there's 100 nodes and pretty much every one of them verifies or blacklists an account, I think you kind of can have a better feel for things.
Yeah, Kanchi, do you do any blacklisting, graylisting, or verification on Love for SRC?
I do grant listing, so I add people to the promoted list, and those are developer accounts, usually, or project accounts, so that if any of them decide to make a post on Love for Source, usually they end up immediately on the global feed. I do blacklisting, but or like ban listing, but very seldom. It would have to be really something spectacular because I don't. I see Love for Source as like an environment for developers, so it's really a different, I guess, type of a community, and the way that the content is consumed is also a little bit different, right? So most of the users are using the API, right? Not necessarily the front end or the database, and that kind of stuff. So I don't have the means really to to have this infrastructure to maintain those lists and do that. But definitely, if somebody crosses the line, yeah, there's the hammer strikes fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, yesterday, Alex Velites bought his own customized mini clout NFT. It was an astronaut. It's a really cool NFT. You definitely should check it out. I love what mini clout's doing. They actually made a mini clout version of Brian and I, where we have both of our heads in one astronaut bubble. It's really cool. It's one of our prized possessions. Definitely check out mini clout if you haven't already.
Yeah, great piece. I looked at Alex's great buy.
Yeah, so the community events, and then we'll get to Kanchi and what he's doing. 11 a.m. Eastern time today on Clubhouse. DeSo Week in Review. That's the room where Brian speaks for about an hour, giving the weekly news. Sometimes it can be pretty boring with Brian's
It's usually
monotone
half an
voice.
hour. It's not an hour.
So
Ed's
It's
exaggerating.
awesome. It's awesome. No, it's dropping wisdom one by one.
So that's with DeSo Chats, Miss Katie Ann, Michelle Lord, Krasenstein, whoever that person is, French Connector, Wildography, Rhubarb, Clout Women Unite, GDS, and Alendez. Conchi's usually there too, I think. Right, Conchi? And that's again at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Definitely check it out if you've missed the news of the week. It's a good recap. And at 12 p.m. Eastern time is the Russian Room on Clubhouse, IT Clubhouse, DeSo, Decibel, Altum Base, Ton.place. That's with Siva, Simek Ilya, Fankor, Anna Moram, and many more. It's a great place to learn Russian if you don't speak Russian already. 3 p.m. Eastern times, NFTs and whitelists. That's on Entra with Virtual Insanity. And Caleb's going to be there, the Ophilus 4, and many others. So definitely check it out. I'm really starting to like these Entra events, the ability to have both voice chat and video if you prefer. The events have been really great over there. So definitely check that out. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern time is Kanchi's big event for Astronation. It's on Clubhouse, Astronation Pathfinders, NFTs with DeSo Chats, Kanchi, and Slava. And that's going to be the room where they close out the auctions for space within his metaverse. I'm excited for it. I'm going to try and make it. That's like my dinner time, so it's a little rough around then. But I'll be watching the auctions at least. So Kanchi, tell us about.
Tune in. Sorry. No.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say, just tune in on the headphones and just have a finger on that NFT.
There you go.
That's what I do. But yeah, so tell us, like, what gave you the idea for Astronation, and when did you start building it, and how long has it taken you to get to this point?
I don't know if you're expecting this, but this is a very long story. I started around 2013, I think, or 2012.
Oh, wow.
It was called Gomplex at that time, and I was doing it as a web virtual world, right? Web-based experience. And when I had it set up with very simple mechanics, a friend of mine told me or asked me if I know how games look like in the 21st century. So I had to go back to the drawing board, and that's when I started building a 3D virtual world, right? And the vision here is that I want to provide as much or much more freedom of expression for people, or I wanted to at that time, that was my vision, to provide more means of expression inside the virtual world, as we all called it 10 years ago, let's say. And I started building this 3D experience. At that time, VR started happening, so it was a natural transition to VR based experience. A few years ago, I have launched a technical demo of this virtual world, and I'm saying virtual world because it has very unique mechanics that I have implemented there. I've been working with, so I have a PhD, and I have been working with two other doctors from the Quantum Physics University here in Poznań, and we have created a comprehensive physics model that not only includes the movement, but also the materials, the transformations, and all of the things that could be happening in the physical world, but also we want that in the virtual world, such that the means of expression, the possibilities, are basically not programmed by the developer, but they are a function, a result of things that are happening in the virtual world. And now we all call it a metaverse, in a sense, which seems like a more easier word to remember. And my vision also grew while I was adopting to this word. I was looking into cryptocurrencies in 2017. I even saw Nader on the Hack Summit talking about bases. I was looking then into more stellar. They even had the example of Astrodollar, which was really natural for me to to think about adopting. But I think it was too early then. So I had to come back to the drawing board and see how to approach this project with the proper angle, and this is how I came back to DeSo in April last year, because I was looking for social networking or some sort of a layer that I could not only integrate to the metaverse, to the virtual world, as the underlying mechanics for the social networking capabilities of it, but also to allow me to do crowdfunding activity, to find the first community to launch the metaverse with. And you guys know what an awesome community I found, right? Everybody's building like crazy. There's everybody. There are investors, there are artists, there are users, there are community moderators, builders, and we have all the amazing people here to create, as Nader says, the killer app, which I hope the metaverse. I don't know if anybody is building any other metaverse on DeSo, but I really hope that the mixture of virtual reality, decentralized social or creator economy, as I like to think about it, right? Because when we decentralize social, we're talking about the real creator economy, not the economy of few silos, right?
Right.
And then the third, the utility of the blockchains, right? Mixing those three things together, I think, is the secret sauce that I want to deliver to the world through Astronation.
Yeah, I love that. And I think if you're not familiar with Astronation, like how would you describe Astronation, like to the lay person, I guess?
It's a space simulator right now. So you're flying a ship and you can enjoy all of the Web3 benefits in virtual reality, right? So you don't. I want to take people to the next level of entertainment platform, right? We all know how we evolved from the desktops through web, through mobile experiences, and now we're evolving into virtual or augmented reality. And so I think basically it's virtual reality, but from the perspective of, let's start it in space, right? You can find people there, you can interact, you can buy NFTs, see the NFTs in space, not only fly them right with the help of the community, but you can actually put your NFT on a 100-meter wide billboard on a star station that is orbiting a moon, and all of those things are happening right now in virtual reality. It's not that I'm moving the moon by hand, right? It's all it's all an element of a very comprehensive simulation that is aimed to provide a very immersive experience for people who are there. Of course, we're very early on that path, where I just released an alpha version, but I think it already demonstrates the concept quite.
So say I have a star station, I win one of your auctions tonight, I get a star station built. And also, let's say let's say tropics, decides to buy a star station as well, how do I go visit his star station? Do I get in my spaceship and travel over to it?
Basically, yeah.
Really?
Yes,
That
sir.
sounds
Yeah.
interesting. So how
Yes, sir.
about planets? Will planets ever be inhabitable on your
Yes.
really?
Yes, the idea is that because of the of I think, or at least my assumption is that most of the trendsetters in this VR kind of are interested in this space experience, or at least the people that that I knew at that time when I was making this decision. So now we're flying outside of the ship. Next step is we go inside the ship, inside the buildings, and we get an avatar. And then the next step is that we're going to start landing on things. So landing on moons, landing on planets, but also landing on asteroids, right? Because those asteroid fields can contain some quite a few gems, I would say, right? Where everybody's focused on the big celestial bodies. There, I think there's going to be plenty of places to explore. And of course, I'm I'm building for immersiveness. So we will be exploring all the possibilities, right, and all of the vehicles that the person can board, right? Because it's essentially like what is the user control related to? Is it related to controlling an avatar, or is it related to controlling some vehicle, or maybe a spaceship, or maybe that's, I don't know, a plane, right, or a car, or maybe a bicycle, who knows, right? So we can I'm definitely up to explore all of those possibilities.
So what type of hardware do you need to explore your astronation? Do you need an Oculus? Can you do it from your Mac? Can you do it from your laptop?
That's an excellent question. Right now, again, we just released the alpha version. Right now, it's you need a desktop machine with Windows on it and Steam VR plus Steam VR compatible VR headset, right? So that could be Oculus headset, that could be HTC headset, or any other that is compatible with Steam, which is like this huge marketplace for gamers. My plan right now with regards to this is that since OpenXR just is arriving right now as we speak, which is an OpenXR is a new format for or new protocol for VR, AR, or in general XR experiences. So very soon we're going to migrate to OpenXR, and that's going to open up also the experience to mobile devices, right? So this is my first boundary that I want to cross to be able to offer astronation also for Oculus Quest 2, which is in the mobile, let's say, environment that is not connected to the desktop, right? And then also in parallel, we're with this optimization happening, we want to release a desktop client so that if somebody doesn't have a VR yet, they perhaps can interact through it through like a regular let's say application, and that will happen also for Mac and for Linux. For Linux, I think we should be able to handle VR quite easily because again, like Steam VR helps here a lot. I think those are like the main ways to consume content from astronation, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
that that's the only way how creators could make money in astronation, for example, because especially the management features and the Web3 integration features, most of those things is going to be happening on the web, because it's basically like Web3, it's the web world, right? So I cannot, or it will be super hard to port absolutely every single blockchain or website into VR, right? So we're going to be doing those integrations through Astronation's website, and one of good examples here is the integration with Deso blockchain, where here we have the through the integration with the identity and Astronation knowing who you are, we can start processing and integrating. Okay, so maybe you want to showcase an NFT on ArtStation, or maybe you want to do something else with your account while we keep integrating those different utilities into the metaverse, right?
What about, go ahead, Brian.
So is DeSo necessary to take part in astronation, or is there a way around using DeSo? Like, can you be in astronation without having a DeSo account?
Yes, it's not necessary. It adds to the experience definitely, but or if you are a DeSo user, you will be able to do more with astronation right now. But it's not necessary. Furthermore, if you want to buy the ships, you can buy them in pretty much popular cryptocurrency right now, and we were selling some ships through Deso NFTs, but that didn't really stick. So, but yeah, it's definitely going to be multi-chain and a self-sufficient system or metaverse in that regard, because also down the line, maybe in 2 years, we're going to start talking about the Astro coin, the economy that is going to be happening within the metaverse. So from that perspective, just to give you like a bird's eye view, right now we're creating the virtual assets, right? And once those get created, we want to establish value of those virtual assets with the help of the creators that we are inviting to the metaverse. Once that happens, we can start talking about the tokenomics and about the exchange of those values within the metaverse, and exchange of the Astro coins with other means of with other cryptocurrencies. That's the big picture plan.
So now say I'm a 3D artist on DeSo and I want to create an avatar in Astronation, or I want to create, let's say, a couch for my space station. Could I do that? Is that possible?
Well, manually, but yes. I mean, all of the assets that are in Astronation, they are made in such a way that they can be easily supplemented with any content produced by an artist. I actually engaged with a few different artists from the DeSo community, establishing partnerships to import and demonstrate how this type of a let's say activity could occur, right? So we could have, let's say, companion NFTs, which are quite popular, where you would have like a pug on your platform with you to keep you company, or you would have a DeSo ghost that is flying in and giving you advice or status updates. But I don't want to stop there. We are looking into creating a marketplace for any shape that is taking the physical form in the metaverse, right? So when we're talking about the ships, when we're talking about the buildings, I expect those to be produced by the artists who are selling those NFTs or those that art, essentially, right? It's the same thing. Like, imagine it's like with the car industry. You can get a stock version of a car, or you can get a custom build by an artist with perhaps a little bit better features, because that artist is collaborating with some production facility, let's say on that same star station, that is providing very high quality materials for that ship to be built and put into the shape that is designed by the artist. So I see there are multiple layers in which I want to integrate the creator economy, as I call it, into the metaverse. So, but an interesting element here is I would like to highlight the profit sharing communities, right? So imagine that those activities that are happening within the metaverse, they do share the mechanics of modern, let's say, modern communities, right? Modern crypto-based groups of people who are capable of contributing and doing things together to the mutual to the benefit of everybody.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I love what you're doing. Like I think you're like way ahead of your time, and like this should be like so welcomed on DeSo, because I think this could really drive others from outside of DeSo onto DeSo. So if Nader and the team are listening, like this is I know you already got Octane funding via a grant, but like this is definitely a project that could really have legs, in my opinion.
I would concur. I would definitely concur.
Yeah, so I mean, it's great hearing from you, Kanchi. I know you're also working on Deso Ninja and ArtStation within Astronation, which are really cool. Do you want to briefly touch on those? We're kind of running a little bit short on time, but I'd love to hear a little bit about both of those.
Sure. Sorry for speaking so much, but
No,
as you
no,
notice,
no.
there's a lot of things to talk about. But so quickly about Deso Ninja. Deso Ninja is my, let's say, data intelligence toolset that I use for interacting with Deso blockchain. It is essentially a copy, so it has its own copy of the blockchain in a different in-memory structure that I can distribute nicely, and I can ask different queries of it, right? So a cool feature demonstrating the capabilities of Deso Ninja are user feeds. Essentially, it has the capacity to create any feed, but using very complex rules, right? So I can check if it's a top level, if it's who is it related to, what are the words, what is the language, what is it safe for work, and like using those different rules, it can provide a feed of posts. But also, for example, for Astronation, it's rendering the GIF NFTs into videos so that I can import it and display on the billboards in the metaverse. So just going the full circle, it's basically like a data toolset that I use and share that capabilities with others who want it, because like people, like I built some feeds for different communities. It's monitoring different nodes. So it's still, I don't think it still has the form of a product, more like a backend API service, let's say, that is discovering its true potential, but that's where it's at. And about ArtStation is the community star station, the first station built in the metaverse of Astronation. And ArtStation is also built with profit sharing community in mind. So if anybody wants to participate in this early development activity, if you send any ArtStation coins to ArtStation, you will be becoming a member of the profit sharing community on ARWeave, and then be able to control and govern ArtStation in the metaverse. And you don't even have to have a headset for that. You do need a Deso a Deso account though. So you could say that this is a exclusive offer for the Deso community.
Nice.
And last but not least, I just wanted to mention Love for Stars again, and an open invitation to developers to collaborate and build and decentralize our social environment.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're doing so much on DeSo, and you have been since the start. And I really look forward to seeing how Astronation gets developed.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, I'm excited, definitely.
Doing my best. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks again, Kanshi. Thanks for coming on our show. And I look forward to having you on again, maybe sometime in the coming months as Astronation gets built out more and more and more. So
and remember, 6 p.m. Eastern time, Clubhouse tonight.
Yes, definitely.
Totally. Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, guys. It was a true pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks again. Talk to everybody tomorrow.